Today we're going to have a look at the disc sander here behind me. My dad and myself made this machine back in about 1996-97. I think it's like 900 wide, so what's that, like either 32 or 36 inch, I can't remember what it actually goes. It must be 36 inch wide. Yeah, so we made this in a period where, like, we're going back, you know, obviously before the internet and all that sort of stuff, and machinery wasn't that easy to come by unless you knew particular dealers around the place, and there was a small handful of dealers around, but they didn't always have obviously what you needed at the time. So and money wasn't as available to me at that point in time either. So Dad and I would often look at how we could make something instead of having to buy it. And a disc sander is not a very difficult thing to make. Like, Dad had one from years ago that was just a 20 inch or 500 mil or something like that he had for many years, and it worked a treat. So we just basically did the same thing with this one, but just in a lot larger scale. So it's a pretty simple construction really. It's just basically a square pedestal that we've got the motor mounted down in behind here. Comes up through the table behind up to a big huge workhead we've got there, which I'll show you in a minute, to a set of pulleys, and basically that's all it is. The rest of it is just like this table here being squared up to the disc itself. The disc is just a cut out of a sheet of 32 mil MDF. Then we've put over the face of it, we've put some Laminex or Formica, something like that, and then we glue our sandpaper to that. So the sandpaper isn't one big disc, it's just strips of 6-inch belt that comes off my stroke sander, and we just glue them on to that. So it's in desperate need of a change now. This paper is absolutely buggered, but it works very well. We've used it, you know, on many a project over the years, and it's worth its weight in gold for what it cost us. You know, like a few $100s at the most it cost us. As I said, it works an absolute treat. I've only got a smallish motor on it. I think it's about maybe a 1.5, 1 3/4 horsepower motor, quite an old motor. And if you're a regular on our channel, you may have seen a short that we did 18 months or so back of this thing starting up. It reminds me of a jet engine, like a turbine firing up, like it goes through 3 stages of startup. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so I'll move the camera in, or I might even take it off the tripod, so forgive me for a bit of unsteadiness, and I'll give you a bit closer look at the workhead and that sort of thing. Okay, so this is the workhead. So you can see there it's got a big plumber block style bearing there, and another one at the front, and the pulley that's sitting on it there is a 4-belt pulley, but we've only got 2 belts running on it at the moment. So hopefully I can hold that still enough. You can see the plate there that the workhead comes through the disc, but that's the back plate there, and then it just comes through the front there to a nut, another big plate that we've housed into the face of the MDF there with a collar and a big nut. So it's like an 1.25 inch shaft that's coming through there. So the table's just put on with some big hinges through here so it can lift up, and just supported. These arms here are just 25 mil MDF. So this section here can actually, it's just held in by a couple of tabs here on either side. It's sitting on underneath down here. It's sitting on a batten, so that can actually come off. And so when we need to change the paper, that's how we do it. We take this off and this comes off. We take the disc off, and that's how we get to it. So unfortunately I can't really show you too much more of the machine because it's been in its current location. It's been here for the best part of, well, it's probably been here for 21 years actually, sitting where it's sitting. But in that period I've actually built, I've got a timber rack over the top of it. I've since built another rack down beside it, and I've got a very small rack here down beside it. So I've literally actually got it wedged in place, and directly behind it I've got a board rack. So I can't get into it, so to be able to show you any more of it, I'll see if I can get behind it with the camera and sort of show you from behind, but there's nothing really to see there. It's literally just a square pedestal, and as I said, the motor's in behind here, so literally inside the pedestal it's pretty well enclosed in. Not much more that I can really tell you about it, other than the frame. From memory, I think we made the frame, looks like the legs are 3x3 Quilla, I think. In fact, the whole frame's probably Quilla, I'd say, just for strength and that sort of stuff. And it's what I would have had. I would have had plenty of that. This is just MDF, and on the top here is just a sheet of Laminex. We've got plenty of Laminex laying around from years back, even like from way before I started with Dad, like when he used to do a lot of kitchens. So, you know, we quite often use Laminex for things like this. Whenever we need to do something, it comes in very handy. So this is from behind. So that's the motor sitting in there. It's sitting up on a, one for a better word, up on a pedestal there. And that's bolted. It's bolted down to that, oops, sorry. It's bolted down to that pedestal. And then the belt comes up through there. So you can see the bottom ledge there. That looks like it's a bit of 4x2, and then the bottom sheet there is a bit of 16mm MDF. Don't know what we've made that pedestal out of, although the top of it where the motor's sitting looks like it's probably a piece of 25mm MDF. Again, just leftovers that we had laying around. Very, very dusty under there. As I said, I didn't even realise that this was open. It's been so long since I've seen in here, I didn't realise that the back of it was open. So there you go. But yeah, so as I said, a very old motor. That is ancient, that motor, but it wouldn't be, at the very most, it may be 2 horsepower or 2.5. It definitely wouldn't be any bigger than 2.5 horsepower. So this is it. That's the old girl. Definitely worth its few $100s that it cost us to build it. And you can see why I can't get into it, because I've got timber racks, you know, all the way around it. And it's literally, the racks have been built around it, and we've shoved crap and everything in. Besides, we're running out of room and whatnot, things get pushed in. But anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed having a look at the old girl. They're very simple to make, so if you know, for anybody that could use a disc sander but can't afford to buy one or can't find to buy one, have a think about making it. It's a very, very simple job to do. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.